Hey guys, just wanted to talk really quick about buying used skates. I mentioned a little bit while ago that it's such a good idea to buy used skates, and I'm here at Play It Again Sports in Barrie. And if you shop at a store such as Play It Again Sports, have a huge peace of mind knowing that every skate has been gone over by people who have been trained by manufacturers, how to look for things that can go wrong with skates. They're inspected and they're all good quality. Starting out here, take a look. You have for goalie skates, you have a Bauer 2X Pro pair of skates in a 5.5, and that's $229. But take into fact that those look barely used, and those are a between $700 and $900 skate when they were brand new. You have 2S Pro skates here, which are a fantastic deal. Okay, going all throughout. You have skates all over the place. Then in their time, were top of the line skates. These 3S's are a very good skate. Okay, you have. Let's take a look around. You've got true all the way up there. You've got true custom skates. Those are, if I look, they're only $109.99. That's an absolute steal for a top of the line pair of skates right up there. So looking all over, and especially if you have kids who are growing, buying used skates is a really, really smart thing to do. You're going to pay less than having brand new skate or paying full retail, but you're going to save a lot of money. You're actually probably going to be able to get a better skate for what you would pay for a top of the line skate that's new, or middle of the line skate that's brand new. So, like for example, these 3S skates up at the top here, that was pretty close to a top end model back in its day. And the ones here, this Vapor 1 XLE, I actually wore a pair like this for years. This was the best skate that Bauer made at the time, and these are in fantastic shape. They're only $189, and that's a steal for a skate that is really not any different than a Hyperlight 2 or a Flylight. When it comes down to it, the bones are pretty much the same for the skate. So when you're looking at skates, you're looking at a bunch of different things, but mainly you're looking for the quality of the boot. Can you squeeze it? Okay, does it have lots of support? The tongue, is the tongue super flexible or not, or does it have some meat and bones to it? Okay, this skate here is actually in quite good shape. If you look, you take a look at the bottom, all the rivets are there, they're not rusted out. And places like Play It Again Sports will be trained, because I used to work at a Play It Again Sports way back in the day. You're looking for cracks in the boot, you're looking for is the toe cap coming apart at the seam right down there. These ones are a good example of skates that have been used, but they're not in bad shape at all. You have to look, if you're buying them secondhand from some random place like, Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or something like that, or some garage sale, you might not notice the fact that there's cracks throughout the holder, which is this part down here. You really have to pay attention to all that stuff, or you could really end up putting money into it and you're gonna have potential injuries. It fails under a tight turn, stuff like that. Even looking down here, you have a pair of 3S skates that are a steal. Okay, this is a really good pair of skates. So you're going to pay less than half of what you're going to pay for a brand new pair of skates, and you're actually going to be able to get a higher model. So it's one of the smartest things that you can do. They do offer brand new skates. Like you look, those Fly 30s are a brand new pair of skates, and that's $369, which is a fair price for that brand new model of skates. But again, if your kid is growing and you are constantly buying new pairs of skates, it's a no-brainer to buy a used pair. So taking a look through, like these Matrix are a very good skate. This is an example here of one that has a low amount of steel. That one is a little bit low. It's probably going to need to be replaced. But now with the trigger grip right here, that'll pop out pretty easily, and they've priced it accordingly. It's very fair at $54.99. That's a really good deal. And buying a new set of steel will set you back at this size, maybe even $70-$80, something like that. But depending where you live, or you're in USA or you're in Canada. But that's a good example of a really good skate for a younger kid, and very reasonably priced. So the thing is, I always try to tell people who are new to the sport, buy used skates when you're first starting out. You're much better off to buy a pair that is, in its day, was a top-of-the-line pair of skates, but now it's just a little bit older, and you can see them all over the place here. If you look, these AS1 Tax, that's a really good skate. Okay, and again, like I mentioned, those 1XLEs are a really good skate. We go through There's all good examples of it right here. This Ignite Pro is a very good skate in really good shape. Fantastic deals all over the place. So go to used sporting goods stores or stores that have a good selection. And it's one of the best things you can do. These Shift Pros. And there's another one. Look at that. That's a really good skate with carbon fiber all over the place. $59.99. That's a steal for a pair of used skates. And the nice thing too, you go to a store like this, is if you spend more than $50, typically what they'll do is they'll give you a free sharpening and take a look at it. There's another good pair. They're all over the place. These Graph 6.5. Those are really good skates, and they're only $49.99. That is an absolute steal on skates. So come in here, and stores like this, they'll measure you, they'll fit you right, and you have all sorts of options too. So if you really are just looking for a recreational pair, which, something like this Hespler or Vix are not really indicated for hockey. They're more like a, go skate on the pond. They have that too, but sitting right over with top of the line skates right beside them. So you're going to have a huge range within your budget of different things that you can check out. And like I said previously, it's one of the smartest things you can do. And especially younger ages, when you look at these youth skates down here at the bottom, these will say, for example, when you're in the youth sizing, they all have different models on them. It might be a Jet Speed if it's a CCM. It might be a Vapor if it's a Bauer. But realistically, my son had a pair of these. They're all pretty much the same at the younger ages. They all share the same bones. They're just, like, for example, this is a lower model. So look, it's got a little bit more give to it. And if you want your guy or girl to be in something a little more stiff, you look around and you look, these ones are quite a bit stiffer. Okay, so you look for different things like that, but you've got all sorts of options. And again, if you like older stuff, look at these old Nike Zoom Airs. You're not going to find those anywhere else, and those are in fantastic shape. Those are $54.99 Canadian, which is amazing. You got some old CCM 459s, but you can go all over the place and have all sorts of options. So if you want rec skates, you want a mid-level skate, you want a top of the line skate, check out somewhere that has that. And like I said, go through and grab a boot. You say, okay, I'm going to take this Bauer X. I'm not even really that familiar with this model. So you squeeze it, and I'm pretty strong, and I'm squeezing it. It's not a lot of give. You've got a little bit of carbon fiber. That one might be full carbon fiber, but this skate looks brand new. And it's a size 5, what's it say, $199.99. Not sure on that, but look, you got skates that are like pretty much brand new. But like I said, if you look through, the big things to look for are, let's find a pair. Like I said, these 1XLEs, I'm very partial to these. If they fit me, I would buy them right now because I love these skates. Squeeze the boot. How hard is the boot? Does the boot have carbon fiber? Look at the rivets on the bottom. Are the rivets in good shape? Take a look through the steel runner. Does the runner have any cracks in it or not? Okay. Look at the holder. Does the holder have any cracks or anything throughout it? Those are all things to look for. But again, you have the peace of mind in a store like this that the employees and people who have trained know to look for those things. If you're buying at a garage sale, you're buying at a swap meet, that kind of stuff, Facebook Marketplace, you don't have that. So that's my advice. And the thing about these stores, all sorts of variety. Check this out. They've got a whole thing of figure skates going on. They've got sticks. They've got a nice mix of new equipment. They've got a nice mix of used equipment. They've got everything. They have everything you might need. They have used helmets up here. They have brand new helmets mixed in if that fits you for your budget. And goalie equipment. They've got like chest protectors all over here. And like they have newer stuff, older stuff. That right there, the CCM Heat and 6, that was a top of the line unit back in its day. Look at that, $65. Again, still very good quality. You got a mix of both used and brand new hockey gloves here. Their deal's fantastic. Again, looking over at the goalie stuff here, they got all sorts of goalie stuff. They have a mix of top of the line. This CCM Retroflex, that's a top of the line blocker. Underneath here, look at this, Hutchinson. That's Mike Hutchinson, former NHL goalie. I think he was playing it's black and gold. I'm not sure where he was playing at that time. I know he played a lot of different places in Old Coho. Check this out, okay? You've got top of the line goalie equipment that you're saving a ton. You're like a glove like this, like a top of the line, this quality of protection and materials is gonna be $600 now. I know this Reebok's a little bit older, but check this out. $99.99. One of the smartest investments you can do, especially if you're starting out in that, is buy some used equipment, and then you can, buy new as you progress in it. Look at all the used pads, lots of variety, different styles, everything. So just one of the smartest things you can do. Check out if you have a Play It Again Sports in your area. Go see it. Go in there. Talk to the staff. They know what they're doing and they're trained. So that's it for me for today. But like I said, check it out. Take a look at the boot. How stiff is the boot? Check out the rivets. Take a look at the holder. Are there any cracks in the holder? Are there any cracks in the runner at all, which is the steel blade on the bottom? How much steel do you have left? Take a look at, also one thing I forgot to mention, take a look at the eyelets. Are the eyelets all in good shape as you go along? Sometimes they're kind of punched out or rusty. This one looks like it's in particularly good shape. I just chose it at random, but this is a good skate too. How much do they want for this? Let's take a look. What do they want? They only want $65 for that. And an FT360, that's a decent skate, okay? So they have all sorts of options. So like I said in previous times, like and subscribe, please, for future content. But I love doing this stuff, and I worked at a Play It Again Sports for a long time, and it's a really good memory. So definitely